whack, can't admit that he hot. I'm just getting started, my body a working EGOT. You release some shit and it flop, ain't no redrop. No hero then, so who a hero now? Me not, got zero friends, it's to the end. We ops, everything look good but her head. Peacock, it's so hard and she fully clothed. She rock, look like he could be the one, but he ain't me. He not.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of Truth Worth Trillions. I am Jerome Leaks. My counterpart, Mr.
Mac 80.
Mac 80 is in the house. 1212, baby. We got this second podcast going. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and watch the first one. You can catch us on Facebook.com, Truth Worth Trillions, and we also have a YouTube page. We want to thank 3C Studios for hosting us once again, and we want to send a shout out to our auntie Debbie. She's 80 today, so happy birthday. My auntie is not 80. I'm so joking. Aunt Debbie, I know you're gonna kill me, but I'm just playing. Happy birthday, Aunt Debbie. Well, we got upon the Thanksgiving season. One of the topics that we're going to discuss on the show today was the incident with Miss Storm, who was on the Delta flight. And going into Thanksgiving, I'll be catching a flight on Tuesday going to Georgia for Thanksgiving. And so we want to just talk a little bit about that. But first, I think Mac having something going on for Black Friday, right? You got something that you got going on for Black Friday?
Yeah. I want everybody to take advantage of my pre-Black Friday, and after Black Friday sale. It starts today on Sunday.
A lot of black.
It's a lot of black.
Black Friday.
It starts today though, Sunday, the first day of the week, all the way to Saturday. So 7 day. It's a 7-day sale. You go to my website, and the link is always on the Truth Worth Trillions page. But you go to my website and you shop. You buy any clothes. I don't care if it's just a T-shirt. You get my music for free.
Which is pretty good, by the way. His music is actually the intro that you hear at the beginning of the show.
Well, it's a few other songs. It's 4 tracks total that you can buy right now, and they only $2. You don't have to shop at all. You can just buy the music. But I'm saying if you go in there and you get any clothes, any apparel, 1GL apparel, you won't have to buy the music. You'll get the music for free. So like I said, I call it my pre-Black Friday, Black Friday, and after Black Friday sale. It starts today till next Saturday.
Okay. So y'all heard that first here on Truth Worth Trillions. The pre-Black Friday sale, Mag 80 in the house.
Let me do this, man.
You did it already. I was switching gears. I thought you was done. I see you said it. Okay, black. We ready. You ready? Okay. You got anything else you want to add back? That's good. Okay. Well, moving on into the show. We want to, like I said, we want to thank everybody for tuning in that did watch last week's first episode. Today we're just going to go into a little bit about the flight attendant. The flight attendant that basically was extremely rude to a Grammy-nominated singer who was basically trying to share the news with I guess some of the passengers on the plane, and he was just really. Which camera should I be looking at? This one or this one? Which one? That one?
Really?
That one. Okay, so I'm looking at y'all. So he was really rude to this lady. I just didn't know which one it was. I keep seeing. Okay, that one. And I got my trusty. All right. So in the long story short, there was a male flight attendant that basically was extremely rude to this lady, who was basically just trying to share the news with the passengers on the plane about being nominated for the award, and like he was really rude. Mac, did you see or hear anything about that? Okay. Well. I guess there was a situation where I don't know if it was him asking her to stop sharing the news because he had to give the safety briefing of the flight. But long story short, I just didn't think that I didn't think that it was a pleasant or proper thing to do to ask her to be quiet based on her just doing that. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She wasn't like some of these drunkards that get on the plane and have to get kicked off the plane.
She wasn't loud and boisterous and out of control.
Absolutely not. She was.
They played audio of it.
They did. They had the whole thing set up. So if you guys are more interested in what I'm talking about after the show or whatnot, just go take a look. So basically, how the audio starts is she's sitting on the edge of a seat and she's talking to passengers, and they were very much interested in what she was saying. So she's sitting on the edge of the seat, and then you see a male come by and said, "Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to stop talking." And she was like, "Well, why? What am I doing wrong?" She was like, "I'm just talking." Well, and the guy was just like, "Well, they're not. I'm not enjoying it," or something. He said he wasn't enjoying, is what he said. So she was like, "They're enjoying what I'm saying. Well, I'm not. I'm gonna need you to be quiet." That's what he said. And I just think that was extreme. I couldn't imagine that was somebody was speaking to my daughter or my wife that way. It was just really uncalled for, So that was that. Next, Mac, you got anything you want to add to that? You want to switch gears, move on to the next subject matter?
What is the next subject matter?
Boy, the pressures of being a host. The next subject matter is the military. How do you feel about? First of all, I'll ask you, man, how do you feel about the military as far as, of course, I'm a veteran, and Veterans Day was last week. I don't think if we didn't say Happy Veterans to the Veterans Day last week, Happy Veterans Day to my brothers and sisters out there who serve this country proudly, even the Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Everybody need a hero. Go Army, who? So I didn't do that last week. But just joining the military, how do you feel about, young people joining the military? How do you feel about the benefits of it versus, not going college? I mean, anything. A lot of people use the military as somewhat of an escape to get away from home. I know I did, but how do you feel about, people and young folks joining the military? And if you know somebody that joined the military, of course you do. But I'm asking you guys, do you know somebody who joined the military? Or what are the benefits of it? Downfall, up or down? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, I can't put a lot into it. It's something that I've never done. So I mean, I've never went to college or went to the military. But I mean, I wouldn't dare to speak negative on it. I would imagine that it's probably more structural than I don't know if I should say a civilian life, but just somebody that's not in the loop, somebody that an average Joe. I think I guess it speaks to ambition. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that wanna make a difference in the world.
So let me ask you this: Do you think that as a minority, do you feel as though that's something that like for myself, I sought college money. I reap all the benefits now, or some of the benefits now from being in the military, but I didn't go to be a patriotic. I honestly went to get that GI Bill to go to college because I didn't score high enough and no grades to get no scholarship. Mm-hmm. So I kind of used it as a crutch. I wasn't gung ho at all. I was when I got out, but at the time that I went when I was 17, I wanted to make sure that I just had an outlet or a vehicle to be able to escape the mean streets of St. Louis, because when we were coming in, growing up in high school, there's a lot of Crips and Blood stuff. There was a lot of shooting and this, that, and others. A lot of people going to jail for selling drugs. So it was kind of like I just kind of felt like I would fall victim to one of those categories. So I need to make sure that I skedaddled up out of here for a little while. So
it sounds like you had positive reasons for going. And that's kind of what I was saying.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't have a choice.
Sound like you did it for the right reason. To me, it just sounds like the average story. Wow. I've never heard anybody story for going into the military personally. I would just imagine and automatically attach to it that it had something to do with people being patriotic. But like it's not foreign for me to imagine that somebody or alien for me to imagine that somebody went for the financial benefits either. I know you can do pretty well in the career of military too.
Yeah, I mean, if you stay in 20 plus years, I mean, you have to, a lot of the military benefits kick in after you've been in for a while. But for me, I was a helicopter mechanic, so it was like, yeah, why don't you teach me how to do that, and I'm gonna go on over here and do that, make this $75.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though that I do look at military is like it could be like boxing. It could be like end up negative. Everybody ain't Mayweather.
Explain that.
Everybody ain't Mayweather or Shakur Stevenson. A lot of people get hit in boxing and end up being
kind of up there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then not even being able to enjoy the afterlife of boxing. And so you got a lot of vets that have experienced so much trauma. It's that would be the negative side for me. I've seen a lot of veterans who seem not to be too mentally grounded anymore.
So you did the PTSD or the side effects from going into battle or combat?
Yeah, but I guess it could be side effects. It could be side effects in playing football. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you constantly get concussions, of course, yeah. But sometimes I think the military, that's a good question. I wanted to ask that question because I know people look at it differently. And, you do have a lot of homeless veterans. And, I asked that question because, we got all kinds of wars going on right now. The United States is sending all kinds of dollars across the world and we got homeless veterans here. You understand? So I'm just saying, some people join the military for, my point in saying what I said earlier is a lot of people join for a lot of different reasons. I joined for the benefit of having the GI Bill. I joined for that signing bonus so I could get that 95 Chrysler Sebring I had. I joined because I get a VA loan. I didn't stay long enough to get more, but I have the ability to get another house based on my VA loan. That's lifetime. I can use it whenever I want. I was fortunate enough not to see any combat, so I kind of went in between all the skirmishes. But I had an uncle who passed away, rest in peace, Uncle Ralph, who was in Vietnam War, and I may have been the only person that he ever spoke to in detail about some of the stuff he saw. It still bothered him at 75 years old. He passed away earlier this year, and those types of things still bothered him as of right now. So, yeah, that was. It could go a whole lot deeper, but we're all around the world. And I just think that we should and could do more for the people who put their life on the line for us, for our freedoms. Instead of giving me 10% on Veterans Day. I mean, this country should honor veterans everywhere. Every veteran deserves more than 10%, no matter what they do. So we don't hold back when we go charging in no place when the politics send us in, whether we agree with it or not. Go ahead. Wow. But in any event, one of the things that I think that is that also helped me to one of the other situations in reference to me going to the military was my mother. My mother, I think that some cultures basically tell their kids, when you turn 18, you're getting out of my house. When you turn 18, you're either going to college or the military, but I don't know which one you're going to do. And I think that mentality puts extremely large amount of pressure on kids from time to time to make sure that, that they go in one direction or not. But I mean, that was put on me. You going to go to the military or you getting going to college? And Lord knows I could not do no more schooling. I squeaked past that last year with correspondence courses, night school at Vashon. And yeah, that's the only way I walk across the stage with all of that.
Man, I had to do, in my senior year, I had to do it all. I had to do Vashon Night School. My mother had to pay for correspondence courses to get me extra credits.
I had to take them too.
Of course, I had to go to day school. So day school.
I hope so.
Day school, night school, correspondence courses, and the death blow was saying, oh, and by the way, and if you do all of this and make good grades all year, you still won't be walking across stage with your friends. You gonna if you don't want to come back next year, you already ain't walking across stage. That's dead. You did horrible.
They told you come walk across stage.
You playing catch up. But if you don't want to come back next year, you gotta day school, night school, make good grades all year, correspondence courses, and you'll be going to summer school.
Man, it's like
crushing.
I couldn't. Man, that was bro. I couldn't even imagine not walking like. I did everything to make that possible. I don't care. They took my gown. They took my cap and gown and took it back to the place because they brought the box and delivered it. And earlier that day, they had everybody come pick them up. And I was like, hey, yo, I did it. I got the green light. I got my correspondence courses done. They was graded. I passed. And they was like, it's not here. And I'm like, well, why? They took it back. So I had to drive way out to Woods Mill Road, by St. Mercy Hospital, St. John, out there to get it. But I drove my happy self out there and got it. I sure did. But when they gave me when they gave it my thing, it was just a thing. They had no diploma in it. They sent it to me. They sent it to me. I was like, so I'm half dumb. Y'all gonna give me one piece but not the other. So in any event, yeah. So were you given any ultimatums like that? Did Diane give you any ultimatums? I don't know what you're doing, but you either going college or military. But when you 18, you up out of here. I know she did. She never put no pressure on you like that.
I don't remember. I know. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that kind of pressure.
I know. I had it.
I mean, because by the time I got to, by the time I did get to be 18, I think at the time for me, the plan for me wasn't college or nothing like that. I was going I was the only one in my family going to the Kingdom Hall. I was a Jehovah's.
Oh, you wasn't?
I was a Jehovah's Witness.
He was pretty serious. Are you not anymore? I didn't know because I mean you was deep with it. I mean he was.
Yeah, it was from age 15 to 19.
You are so right. I remember. I didn't like you.
4 years.
I didn't like you much then. You was always talking about. You know what I'm saying?
It was 4 years.
I didn't really know. Like at one point.
So I think about 18. I think I was thinking about going to the Jehovah Witness College. It was.
Hey man, wasn't even nothing wrong with that.
It was called Bethel. So I think you had to. I think the age requirement was 19.
Right.
So
okay.
I think they thought that well, man, to be going to Bethel next year.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing about my cousin. All right, I totally forgot about that phase of your life. But my cousin, when he put his mind to do something, he will do it. I'm gonna tell you right now, this man had me thinking he was a disciple of Bruce Lee when we was kids. He actually did kung fu. I'm talking about. What we doing? He actually did real kung fu. Like he was showing me moves and stuff. Like he was posing earlier with his little, you know what I'm saying? Remember you used to do that when we was kids? You'll be like, yo, check this out. He was the one taught me about my wings. And he didn't think I was gonna remember that. He used to have me do this exercise for my forearms where I get a gallon of water or sand and put a rope on it and get a broke broom handle and tie it and do this to make my forearms, because he was like, when you block people, you know, forearms need to be hua. Remember that? Are you gonna act? You gonna act like you don't remember that?
Hey man, what's the next subject? Man?
You don't want to talk about that?
Nah.
Hey, Bruce Leroy. So what we talked about earlier? We talked about a lot of stuff. That was a really one. You know, the last one, I mean, was about our music. I mean, about the music industry today. Like where do you see the types of music that, you know, is being played on the radio? I know earlier this week we kind of talked about, back in the day when we didn't talk about this particular radio station, but I know we talked about like the direction as far as how things used to be versus now. We talked earlier about classic movies. What would be considered a classic movie in your eyes, like a classic cultural movie for, you know, say for a Menace to Society. I mean, that's one of my favorites, Menace to Society, Boys of Hood. But I kind of consider those movies will go down as being classic. But we did talk about that. But as far as the music and entertainment industry, where do you see that going, as far as, is it good music, bad music, and different music? What do you have to say about that? Since you are an artist, you do, you know, perform different music. So how do you feel about it? I'm not a music guy, so
music as a whole, or hip hop, rap?
Well, what kind of music do you listen to?
I mean, I listen to all kinds of music. I listen from Taylor Swift to
Why you had to say Taylor Swift?
Lil Baby.
Why you had to start off with Taylor Swift?
No, I'm trying to describe the gap.
Oh, okay. I thought it was because she's down the road.
I think that's a large gap.
Okay, yeah. Well, and my thing is, I listen to a lot of the music on the radio. I'm very surprised that it's allowed. I mean, like, I remember back when I was a kid, we used to listen to Magic 108, and it had the Quiet Storm with, what was his name? What's the dude with Quiet Storm?
Doc
Rivers. Doc
Winters.
Doc Winters, right. The Quiet Storm guy. Mm-hmm. But I remember listening to the music, and they would bleep out the cuss words. They would bleep it out. And then it just kind of gradually went to where they pushed a little more and a little more. So now there's actually cursing on the radio, to where, you know, you have to really monitor it. Like, you have to really monitor. With your kid in the car, you got the radio on. You can't even turn the radio on nowadays, because it's just so much vulgarity and there's so much cursing. And, you know, it's talking about, you know, certain things. And so, you know, you see I ain't gonna stunt. You see what's her name? Red, or Dirty Red, or whoever Red she is.
Sexy Red, man.
She ain't sexy to me. But anyway, I'm just saying, the Sexy Red. Like, I mean, the things that she talk about, do you think that's appropriate, non-appropriate? I'm just asking.
I never heard Sexy Red. I just
You seen her?
Yeah, I see her a lot. I gotta actually get some of her music or something.
Okay.
I go try to listen to her tonight, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Since you made that a subject.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I think that the what's appropriate and non-appropriate. I remember when we was kids, we had NWA, all right, and I think that was the beginning of gangster rap. And I just think that, you know, even when I was a kid, 16 years old, I call that a kid. I had a driver's license, and I drove up and we was bumping the music, because, you know, back in the day, you was you know, known for your beats. I would make sure I turned the radio down. Like, if I put up next to a family, I just kind of felt bad. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking over and I see a man in the car, I see a little girl, and I'm turn that down. I don't want to, you know, I would do that. Oh man, something in here. So I'm just saying, I just think that the direction as far as what we allow to be played, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, the concern in reference to, you know, freedom of speech, but I just think some things, I just think some things should not
I
be.
mean, it's too late to be talking about that. You just said NWA. That was back in 1989. So, I mean, you know,
It's too late to talk about what?
I mean, it's been going on for so long. It's not even a shock factor involved. I know not with me.
Well, I mean,
Cause I mean NWA.
I wasn't.
The name itself.
It's exactly. But what I'm saying is, I still think that we're pushing even further. Now, I think that, and my role and my responsibility, as far as what I'm saying is, I'll listen to it within the comforts of my own. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, okay,
I'm not.
What you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? If I'm listening to NWA in my car with my windows up, that's cool. All right. But if I'm driving down the street and I see kids that don't know what some certain subject matters are, I don't want to expose them to that. You know what I'm saying? That's their parents' responsibility.
Keep things. It's a time and a place for everything.
I do believe that. You know
Instead
what I'm saying?
of just forcing rated R subjects and X-rated
Correct.
subjects on people. I see what you're saying. It's about respect.
Right, and you know, you have, and I'm gonna go right into it. You have people nowadays that want to be called him, them, that, or you know, the pronouns of this, that, and the other. So you know, it's like you can live your life however you want to choose to live your life, but you can't force me to. You know what I'm saying? You can't force me to participate in it. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of feel like that's it's a sticky situation, but I don't want anybody to force nothing on me or my child. That's my responsibility as a parent. And I just feel like even with nowadays, you know, kids don't know what they want at 12 or 13 years old. Did you really know what you wanted at 12 or 13 years old? I mean, that's the parents' responsibility to guide and teach and put correct factual information in front of them.
We talking about sexual preference?
Well, you could. That's basically it. No, I would take that back. I'm not talking about sexual preference. What I'm talking about is we're in a time and age where we're allowing children to make decisions that they shouldn't be making. So just like I was saying about me, if I pull up next to a person with my car bumping, blah, 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 hey, mommy, hey, daddy, what's that? So now you've exposing those children to an environment, but no more than the TV, no more than the video games. They all do it. But what I'm saying is the amount of pressure that we had as a kid is not nowhere near what these kids get now.
Yeah,
they got the internet, they got this, they got all. I think the things that we was worried about was the magazines at the 7-Eleven that you could see some boobies sticking out. You know, we didn't have to worry about the internet. We didn't have to worry about, you know, this show or that show. But I just kind of feel like now, you know, we're exposing children and people to things that I just don't feel like it's necessary. I don't feel like it's the appropriate time. I definitely don't think that somebody at 12, 13 years old should be deciding to transition themselves from a man to a woman. I just don't believe that.
I knew we were talking about sexuality.
Well then, go on. Go ahead. What do you feel about it? I mean, I just talked the whole. It's your turn. What do you feel about that? You don't agree with what I'm saying?
I mean,
what's your stance?
I concur. You know, I mean, obviously, emotionally, the developmental stage emotionally is nowhere at the point of, you know, being able to. It's just certain things. I mean, I agree with my cousin, and you know, by that token, it's certain things that I choose not to discuss, and religion and politics and sexuality is one of them. But I mean, I will say that the world has gotten to the point where a lot of things are forced on kids. A lot of things are forced on kids. I don't think that a lot of things are just like you said. It's not organic no more. You know, the peer pressure is just it's next level now. Right. Our peer pressure when we were growing up was about. If your mother had a nice looking car, you may have been embarrassed about that. You having some clothes, you wanted to have on some Guess jeans, some British Knights, some Troops. You know, if you had on raggedy clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the peer pressure will be whether are you gonna get a job or you gonna sell some crack rocks to get this stuff.
It just
that was it.
It's so next level now that yeah, I'm glad that number one, I'm not a kid, and number two, that I don't have any kids. That's the only thing I can say.
You ever want kids? Did you ever want to have kids?
I don't ever remember having the desire to, but I mean, obviously, once I got to a certain age, and then I never had none.
just like,
I kind of embraced it.
I'm not gonna start over. I'm not gonna start now. I'm not that. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but
I get it. I was
yeah,
not the
I
pride.
don't envy that, man.
Yeah, not the pride. I never asked you that question, and I never asked you, the reason if you had.
I love
I didn't know if
kids,
you
so
didn't. I didn't know if you didn't have your little soldiers marching. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was a reason medically that what I'm saying, that we talking about military. Your little soldiers was walking. I didn't know. So I didn't know. So now I do. Now I know. Now I know. Now I know. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy out there. So.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear because I don't have anything against anybody. I have a daughter that chose to and I know she don't mind. So, but I'm just saying, I worked for a company, and I won't say any names, but I worked for a company as a supervisor, and it was the week, that week, the gay month, gay pride month, gay week, and they basically brought me a bag of shirts, and they all different colors, and you had to wear a different color shirt every day. I didn't wear those shirts. I did not wear those shirts because I will tolerate and be in an environment that, but I mean, you talking to somebody who I never even wore pink up until 3-4 years ago. Red was the closest I would get to pink. And it's not about my I'm very confident in my masculinity. I ain't worried about any of that. But I'm just saying, I just kind of feel like some things are forced on you, and in my work field, I just don't feel like if I didn't want to participate, I didn't wear them. I threw them away. It was a green one, it was a pink one, and this one, and that one.
I can definitely respect what you're saying, because you just took the connection from it's all about respect. When you were playing your rap music, you didn't subject others
to it. Right.
I see what you're saying.
That's it.
I get exactly what you're saying.
That's
so
it.
It's not about necessarily condoning no violence or hate, or spewing hate toward any particular group or culture or anybody's beliefs and particularities. It's just that you saying we live in a society now where just saying like everything is forced, not just on children, but on people in general. People are forced to, since this is what you believe in,
now you have to participate with me.
Right.
And I just
I'm the same way. I'm a a heterosexual man, and I'm not gay by no stretch of the imagination, and so I don't want nobody expecting me. You can expect respect out of me, and that's what you're gonna get as a fellow human.
Right.
But yeah, don't just automatically
right. I get what you're saying.
Subject me to nothing and put me in a position where you think I gotta reciprocate your beliefs.
Right.
Because
and that's just it. And it's kind of like, we don't have anything that, and I don't know if I'm gonna say, I hope this comes off properly, but we don't necessarily. Okay, so as you think about it, my wife is white, right? Caucasian. Shout out to Amy. What up, Amy? But you don't see us going around forcing interracial marriage on people. We don't go out and get no extra nothing. Hey, let's have interracial marriage day. We're not forcing that on somebody. So I'm just trying to understand why is when I go to work, or when a company that they say, well, we're all celebrating Gay Pride Month. Here go your shirt. You need to wear them once a week. Right? That doesn't work that way. That's what you believe in. That's what you want to promote.
What was that happened with Bud Light or Budweiser?
Well, they put a transgender person on one of their bottles, and they lost millions. They lost because.
And then what? Kid Rock.
I don't know nothing about Kid Rock.
Kid Rock, he had the he took the beer bottle. He went out in like a desert. He put the beer bottle up and shot it down with an AR or something.
But see, those are the people opposite of us. Those are the people who do have a problem with this, that, and the other. I don't have a problem with what you do. I didn't even have a problem with the beer bottle because I don't drink Bud Light no more. But I'm just saying, you're forcing that on consumers, and that's why the consumers walked away. They lost millions of dollars for that, because you're forcing your agenda on people that, you know what I'm saying, they shouldn't. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't get any special recognition for the fact that, I can't force being in a part of that marriage on nobody. So I'm just saying, why would you put that on anybody else? I just don't think that's the right thing to do. If you want to participate, fine. If you don't, but your beliefs are yours and mine are mine. Moving right along. Let's see here. How do you think last week's show went, Matt? What can we do differently this week than we did last week?
This week?
Now, right now.
We already in the now. It's too late
Oh,
to be talking.
well,
I mean, what can we
now.
do next week? Be better than this week.
What do we got coming up? I mean, we do have some things that we want to do. We got a guest coming on at some point to talk about nutrition. Right? We got some people coming on to talk about fitness. So that's definitely going to be an episode that you guys need to check out. We're going to have him on and talk about his brand. We're going to talk a little bit about, the difference between fitness or getting fit and just performing cardio or just fitness acts. Thanksgiving. I'm gonna see, Mac. What are you actually gonna do? Like, this will be your first Thanksgiving in a while. So what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? What's your plans for Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I think it's.
Do you eat turkey?
What's happening right now?
I'm just asking. Do you eat turkey? Because it's kind of cannibalism for a turkey to eat turkey. But I knew
the question was loaded from jump. And we ain't doing too much of nothing. I think it was decided that Thanksgiving was gonna be at my niece's house this year, which is I think something different, or it's never been done there.
That's cool.
You usually went to grandmama's house, didn't you? On Thanksgiving?
Well, if I was here in St. Louis, I mean, okay, so let me tell you what, that's a good question. I used to have to split my Thanksgivings up when I was a kid. I used to have to spend half of my Thanksgiving with the Leak side of the family and half of my Thanksgiving with the Smith side of the family. So I would go to both. But I had the grand idea one year that I was going to have it at my house. And it kind of became like a tradition that both families, because, a lot of TV, media world, Facebook people, Truth Worth Trillions people, my family is so cool that, like, I literally have a lot of my aunts on my mom's side cool with my aunts on my dad's side. So what I did was I just basically invited both sides of the family to my house. And we kind of did that for a few years. But it was pretty cool. But yeah, I used to go to grandma's house. But this year, I'm going to be going to see that man on Delta Airlines that told that lady stop singing because I'll be flying to Georgia on Wednesday. So I'm flying to Georgia on Wednesday, and that's where I'll be spending my Thanksgiving at his house with the famo and the dogs. Oh, can't wait to get back home. Can't wait to get back home. And then that'll be it. And I'll come back and we'll be going the same old. Let's see. What's up?
So we'll see y'all next,
the
week after.
Week after next. The week after next, I guess. That was, I guess, I don't have a calendar in front of me. I don't know. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. I want to talk some more. We ain't got nothing else to talk about, no subject. Why don't you ask me some questions? Somebody ask me some questions. Hey, ask me questions. Give me questions.
This is getting awkward.
Is it? Yeah. So, but we will have, but again.
We can talk, make sure we talk about next time we come on here about, what we had talked when we had talked to the Israeli family.
Yeah, we'll
make sure we make that the.
Well, we could talk just a bit. I mean, we met some people from Israel. We met some people from Israel today. We ain't gonna go into it. I'm just saying we met some people from Israel today, and we had some. I had some questions for them because I asked where they were from, and I was like, for real? I was like, and one of the young people said that they had just left not too long ago. I was like, well, wow. And they was just talking a little bit about it. But yeah, that was pretty interesting to get some insight from them in reference to what's going on over with the Palestinians in Israel. But, we don't really want to speak on that because I don't have a whole lot of, didn't do no research on that. So I ain't gonna be speaking about nothing I don't know. But we just talked a little bit about it. And she was asking us a lot of questions about.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, well, we could do it now. We got time. We got a couple minutes. So you go ahead, lead out.
I mean, it was a long conversation earlier. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to package it now.
Well, okay, so what happened was they were real estate investors.
We went to talking from trading places.
That was you.
Yeah, because it got deep.
Yeah, it did get deep. It got deep real quick.
It got deep real quick.
So what we talked about with this couple who are real estate investors were, she was asking us questions about how the inner city of St. Louis, the safety of it, the property, and she was asking us, how did we feel about it, if it would ever return, if it would ever come back, would there ever be, the city of St. Louis, would it just grow or would it change? Would the environment as far as it being is tore down in certain areas, would that ever be, could you recover from that? And that was one of the questions that she asked. I told her no. I flat out told her no. I said until people's mentality changes and a lot of different other things, I just didn't think that it was possible without a conjoined effort from a lot of people with a lot of money, to go in and make those changes. And that was just my response to her. So, yeah. So we talked about music. We talked about the military. Man, it just seemed like I have so much to say when my brain don't stop clicking when I lay down to go to sleep at night. Then I get in front of these cameras and,
that's what set us apart though, because, excuse me, we our show it's an unscripted show.
It is very much.
I mean, you hear people saying reality shows or unscripted. That's not true.
Well,
but like we truly are unscripted.
Yeah, we don't practice that.
As you can see, we totally are unscripted. And I some days are better than others, but that's to be expected. But this how I think that it's been a long week, definitely a long
well, we
day.
had a long day, man.
Woo!
Moving.
So,
oh man.
I think this is kind of what happens when you go through a day like what we had today, and then we get here, and so it just every day is different, and it's just one of those days where tired, man.
Mac is tired. I'm tired. I tell you what, I'll tell y'all a little bit about what we did today, and we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna cut this one a little short because we got some other things to do this evening. But however,
still got work to do.
Yeah, still got things to do. We're working hard, man. Working hard pays off. I mean, you pay your dues, and I think that's a lot of what we're doing right now. A lot of ripping, a lot of running, a lot of this, a lot of that. So we had we helped a friend move today. Hey, that's just what you got to do. Sometimes we are where we are, but without that friend does, different things for us. So we got to hook him up and he's moving. So, hey, we'll come help you move. But damn, brother getting old. I'm almost 50. I'm going to be 50, y'all. I was winded. So we definitely need to talk about this, this fitness, cause I'm going to be doing it myself. Cause I picked up one thing and moved it and I needed a 10-minute break. Whew. You did too. You did too. He did too. He did too. He ain't gonna say it. He did too. So that being said, Mac, if you don't have anything else to add, this was a early show, quick show. We got a couple more things to do, like we said, but unless it's something that you wanna pinpoint, talk about, Mac 80,
like T.I. Audi.
And I don't know if I said it before, but I'll say it again. The intro to today's show was Mac. He put a little stuff out there at the beginning of the show to tell you a little bit about where he's at. Again, on the Truth Worth Children's page, you can see UH web member. If you click on that, that will take you directly to his page where you can buy shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, or his music. So it's very much worth it. I jam it in the car when I get in a lot because it's just so crisp, so clear. But yeah, Mac doing his thing. Other than that, unless you have anything else to add, Mac, that's going to be it for me, buddy.
All right, y'all heard him. Peace.
So who a hero now? Me not. Getting a loan from me ain't predicated on please. The throne belong to me, dedicated over here in seas. Got set up similar to a monarchy, kingdom and empire fantasies. Out the Scarface liking me to fine wine is cool. What a champagne liking me to a number, not a state. Know my name, worst wrongful conviction. Best in the rap game. Was it meant to be number one album? Come and have a century. A wife and kids before doing a bid. Had be around worms playing the hustler cause they selling lead. A life an absolute failure to mine. Even as a kid, realer to only east and the west, law for the mid. Game modest, he whack, can't admit that he high. I'm just getting started, my body.